Hello students, I'm audible? Fine. So let us say wait for 2 minutes, then we'll start the class. Hello students, how are you all? Fine. So in the last class, we are continuing the chapter that is the human health and disease. Okay. So we have completed cancer and everything, right? Today we are going to continue the chapter. Let us see. Fine. So here is the first question for you guys. The question is, which one of the following statement is not true for a cancer cell in relation to the mutation? Okay. Option A, that telling a mutation destroys the telomerase inhibitor. Option B, mutation inactive the cell control. Option C, mutation inhibit production of the telomerase. And option D, mutation in the proto-oncogene accelerates the cell cycle. Fine. So you can answer to this question, guys. You two students, you can answer me from the chat box. I will launch the poll. You can answer me in the poll. I'm launching the poll. Fine, you can answer me in the poll. Fine, let us answer to this question, guys. Okay. So what they are telling is, which one of the following statements, 1 minute. Yeah. Which one of the following statement is not true for the cancer cell? Okay. Here they are asking not true, right? Yeah. Okay. So mutation destroys the telomerase inhibitor. Is that mutation is going to be inhibit the telomerase inhibitor, guys? No. Here they're asking that. 1 minute. Yeah. Not true for the cancer cell. 1 minute. Fine. So let us answer to this question. Mutation destroys the telomerase inhibitor. No. Mutation is not going to be inhibit the telomerase inhibitor. Wait. Okay. So mutation destroy the first. Let us talk about the telomerase, guys. What is this telomerase? Telomerase enzyme will the telomerase enzyme during the chromosome. What will happen during the cell division? The chromosome is going to be breakdown. Okay. So this telomerase will maintain the chromosome number. So that's why the normal cell will die. Why not the cancer cell will not die? This is the reason. In the cancerous cell, the telomerase active will be more. Okay. So you know that I already, the mutation will cause the cancer, right? So here they are telling that mutation destroys the telomerase inhibitor. Yes, telomerase inhibitor is going to be destroyed. That is correct. That is correct. Okay. Then coming to the option B, mutation inactivate the cell control. Yes. So here you can see they are telling that not correct. That is the false, right? 1 minute. My pen is not working. One minute. Fine. So there is some issue. Fine. So mutation destroys the telomerase inhibitor. No, mutation is not going to be inhibit the telomerase inhibitor. Okay. Then coming to the mutation destroy the telomerase. Yes. Then coming to the mutation inactivate the cell control. Yes. Whenever the cell control is, whenever the mutation is going to be happen, it is going to be inhibit the protein which is going to be control the cell division, right? For example, if you take the during the cell cycle, we have studied about the checkpoints in the cell cycle, right? So here, due to the mutation in the cell cycle checkpoint, it is going to be alter the cell division, right? So mutation will inactivate the cell control. Yes, that is also correct. Both the one statement and the second statement is correct. Then coming to the C, mutation inhibit the production of telomerase. What we told, guys? In the cancerous cell, the telomerase activity is high. Okay. Due to that reason, the cancer cell is not going to be die, right? So obviously, then telomerase is not going to be inhibited here, right? So here the mutation is not going to be inhibit the production of the telomerase because telomerase will be high in the cancerous cell. Okay. So that statement is wrong. So here they are telling that not true for the cancer. So in the cancer, the telomerase activity will be high. Okay. So this is the correct statement. Option C is the correct statement for this. Okay. Then come to the D. Mutation in the proto-oncogene accelerates the cell cycle. So guys, how the cancer is going to be occur? If the mutation was occur in the proto-oncogene, this proto means what? Inactive, right? The oncogene means what? Cancer causing genes. So here what will happen? The mutation in the proto-oncogenes convert these proto-oncogenes into the oncogenes. Then these converted into the cancer causing genes, right? So these will converted into the this mutation in the genes convert that genes into the oncogenes. Because of this oncogene, it is going to cause the cancer. That we will call it as the proto-oncogene. Coming to the suppressor genes will be there. If the mutation in the suppressor genes also, it will cause the cancer. Okay, for example, if you take P53, P53 is the suppressor gene. So there is the mutation in that suppressor gene will lead to the cancer. Okay, fine. So the correct answer for this is the option C. Okay, fine. Let us go to the next question. Which one of the following is correct regarding the AIDS positive agent? So that is the HIV. Okay, fine. Option A is HIV is enveloped virus containing the one molecule of single stranded RNA and one molecule of reverse transcriptase. In the option B, HIV is enveloped virus that contains two identical molecules of the single stranded RNA and two molecules of the reverse transcriptase. Then coming to the option C, HIV is not enveloped virus, and option D, HIV does not escape but attacks the acquired immune response. So here they're asking about the correct statement. Let us answer one by one. Okay. In the option A, they are telling that HIV is enveloped virus containing one molecule of the single stranded RNA and one molecule of the reverse transcriptase. Can anyone answer in the chat box that which one is the correct answer for this? Student from the YouTube, can you answer to this question? Easy question. If you know the structure of the HIV virus means you can answer to this question. Fine. So let us answer to this question, guys. So here, first let us talk the structure of the virus here. We all know that HIV virus is a enveloped virus. So how this envelope came to the virus? That is from the host, right? So where the HIV virus was infected, from the host, it is got the plasma membrane. And on the envelope, you can see the viral protein that is accumulated on this membrane. So together that viral protein and the plasma membrane from the host, together we will call it as the envelope. Okay, that is the outer covering. Then coming to the inside, guys. What is the genome? We are having the DNA, right? Yes. HIV virus, we will call it as a retrovirus. That is having the genome RNA, right? It is having the genome RNA. It is having the genome RNA. So that is single-stranded RNA. What is that RNA? We will call it as single-stranded RNA. Sorry, some penta is not working correctly. Fine, guys. So it is called as the single-stranded RNA. So there are two single-stranded RNAs there in the retrovirus. And coming to this RNA is going to be covered by the capsid. Capsid is the proteinaceous. Okay. And here you can see there are the two reverse transcriptase are there. Two reverse transcriptase. Okay. And the integrase enzyme is also there. You know that what is the function of the reverse transcriptase, right? This reverse transcriptase helps in the conversion of this single-stranded RNA into the cDNA. Synthesis of the cDNA. Okay. Fine. This is about the structure, guys. Let us come to the answer. In the option B, they are telling that HIV is enveloped virus that contains the two identical molecule of single-stranded RNA and two molecule of reverse transcriptase. Yes, here you can see in the diagram. So here there is a two molecule of the reverse transcriptase is there. This blue color. Blue color is the reverse transcriptase enzyme. And that green color, light green color is the integrase enzyme. Okay, there are two integrase and the two reverse transcriptase enzymes are there. So that's why option B is the correct answer. Here you can see in the option C, they are telling that HIV is not an enveloped virus. No, it is an enveloped virus, right? And in the option D, it does not escape but attack the acquired immune response. No, every virus having the ability to escape from the immune system. But later it will escape from the immune system, but later it will attack the helper T cells, right? It will attack the helper T cells. So that's why this is also not the correct answer. The correct statement is option B. Okay, fine. So let us go to the today's topic. Today's topic is adolescence and drug alcohol abuse. What do you mean by this adolescence, guys? So this adolescence is nothing but a bridge between the childhood and the mature age. So that we will call it as a bridge between the childhood and the maturing. We will call it as the adolescent age. What is the age actually? What is this gap age we will call it as? The adolescent age is, we will call it as from the 12 to the 18 years of the age. And here you can see it is linking the childhood to the adulthood. What are the things is going to be happening here? Usually the mental development and the physical development and the growth, the mainly our rapid growth is going to be happen in this stage. So that is in the between the 12 to 18 years of the age. And here you can see this is the age actually the student were completing the 10th standard and going to the 11th and the 12th and joining to the colleges, right? What they will think? We are independent, right? In the adolescent stage, they will think that we are independent and no one has to school and no one has to do this thing and that thing because they are independent, right? So those age we will call that the adolescent age, and the adolescent age is the vulnerable phase. Why we are calling it the vulnerable phase? Because it is the main age where the development of the mental development, physical development, and the hormonal imbalance, hormonal things is going to be, the hormonal changes is going to be taken place in this time. So that's the thing. Okay, fine. So let us see about this thing. Fine. Here you can see it is the age where the attitudes, belief, and the effective participation in the society is going to be come in the child in that age. Fine. So here you all know that in the adolescent age where the children will be susceptible to the bad habits like the alcohol, drugs, like these type of the abuses. What are the causes? Why only in these ages? You already know that in this age, mainly the mental development and the physical development is going to be taken place. What are the causes for the children to make an addiction in the alcohol and the drugs in the adolescent age? Let us study one by one. Curiosity and the experimentation. We all know that in this age, what will happen? The students are very curiosity. Like if anyone is doing something, they are very curious. How they have did that? Okay, even I have to try. I will do that. Yes, like that curiosity will be there in this age of the children. And the experimentalization, right? If anyone is doing in the WhatsApp and in the Instagram, they are doing something like you can see bike riding, they will jump, right? So those all the things they will experiment just for the experiment. Those things will be very high in this type of the age, and need for the adventure and the excitement and to escape from facing the problems. The children in this age, like they are in the studies, right? They will be like there will be a different problems will be there for the children, like if they are failed in the exam, and if the parents are scolding, and if they are in a relationship of the boyfriend and the girlfriend, like that means to escape from that problem they will addicted to these type of the drugs and the alcohol. And the stress from the excel in the academics, they have to get the very good marks in the academics, then they will go to these type of the drugs and the alcohol for getting the pleasure in them. Then by seeing the movie and by seeing in the Instagram, television, newspaper, and the different things. When you see the newspaper, television, and different things, if the something is someone is done that experimentally, have done that differently, means they will also try. So that is the another thing. And unstable and the unsupportive family structure and the peer pressure. There will be like in the family, like the parents are not concentrating on the children, what they are doing, and the parents are not taking care of the children. On the time, it will lead to the unstable and the supportive family also will lead to the pressure in the children to go to these drugs and the alcohol. Fine, do you have any question here, guys? I'm audible, right? Student from the YouTube? Fine. Let us go to the next. What is this addiction? I will give you an example, guys. If the person started for the curiosity, he started to smoke. In the first day, when for the curiosity started, like someone is smoking, even I also want to smoke. What is that feeling I will get? I have to experience like that. They will start to smoke. But for the first day, he started to smoke one cigarette. Later, once more, one cigarette, and later one cigarette like that. But what will happen? So this addiction means when he smoke first time, he will get some happiness. Okay. To maintain this happiness, he started to do that. Started to take the cigarette for the every time. So later, what will happen? The receptors on the brain is become tolerant. Now, he want happiness means he has to take more cigarette, right? For the one cigarette, he will not get the happiness. Day by day, is going to be increase its cigarette number, right? For the first week, he started with the 1, and the second week, he started with the 2, and later 3, and later for the one day, he started to use the more than like the 10 cigarette like that. that become a addiction, because the receptor become tolerance to the 1 cigarette and 2 cigarette, right? To get the feeling of happiness, he has to require more cigarette, right? Or the more this type of the drugs for feeling the happiness. That will call it as a addiction. What is the definition, guys? So it is a psychological attachment to the drugs and the alcohol. The same time is taking the cigarette, same time is taking the drug, and so those things we will call it as a addiction. He is addicted to that. And you can see that for the mobile also. We started to see the mobile whenever we take the mobile, suddenly it will go to the WhatsApp and it will go to the Facebook and different things. So many good things also there in the mobile, but suddenly we will go to the that social media, right? So that is also the one type of the addiction. There is a psychological attachment where it is giving the happiness to us. That we will call it as a addiction. Okay. And here they are talking about the alcohol and the drug addiction. Fine. And with the repeated use of this drug, I have told you the tolerance level of the receptor is increases. Now he has to take more cigarette or he has to take more drug to feeling the happiness. That we will call as a tolerance. It is increases more, then it will give rise to the addiction. Okay, fine. Greater intake of anything will give rise to the addiction, guys. If you are seeing the mobile for the if you are seeing the mobile for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it is not the addiction. If you are seeing the mobile and if you are seeing the social media continuously like 2 hours, 3 hours, it will lead to the addiction, mobile addiction. Okay. So like that, taking the more drugs, it will lead to the addiction. Fine. Okay. So what do you mean by dependence? This addiction will lead to the dependence. For example, if you take the person who is drinking so much, okay, the person who's smoking so much, suddenly the family people will tell them to stop the smoking, or due to the family pressure they will stop smoking or stop drinking suddenly. Okay, they're drinking and they're smoking from the so many years, because of the family telling and family pressure they stop it immediately in the within the 1 day only. What will happen? Yes, they will show some type of the symptoms, like they will show headache and 1 minute, yeah, here they will show the some of the withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal symptom, here you can see anxiety, shakiness. You can see that person was drinking so much, and suddenly if you stop drinking means at a time stop drinking means it will lead to the shakiness. He will shake his hands and they will tell, right, if I didn't drink means my hands will be shaken, right? So that is suddenly stop the drinking means. Okay, those all are the symptoms. Anxiety, what will happen next? They will be thinking. So this anxiety and shakiness in the hands and nausea, and nausea we will call it as, and the sweating and the tiredness, you will get tiredness is nothing but the nausea. So these all are the symptoms they will get when they suddenly stop with the drug and suddenly stop with the smoking and these kinds of the alcohol and the drug. That we will call it as a dependence. Okay, depending leads to the social adjustment problem. So the person who is suddenly stopped everything, he will be like, he will not feeling like mingle with anyone. So he'll be like alone only. So like that symptoms. Okay. This is tell about the dependence. Do you have any questions over here, guys? Dependence. Can anyone tell me? Is anyone having the doubt here in the dependence? Fine. So it is the tendency of the body to manifest a characteristic and unpleasant withdrawal symptom if the regular doses of the drug or the alcohol is abruptly discontinued. Then how to make that person to not drink and how to make the person to discontinue this all the things day by day. Like if these drinking so much of the alcohol, or if he is taking the 10 cigarettes per day means we have to minimize that amount. For the next day, he has to take like 3 or 4. Then day by day, we should decrease the amount. So that is what we will call it as the decreasing. So by that, he has to avoid this all the thing. That is the alcohol and this abuse. Fine. So let us talk about what are the effects. What are the effects of these drugs and the alcohol abuse? First, let us talk on the female who is the pregnant. 1 minute. Fine. So let us talk about the female who is taking the alcohol. What are the symptoms? And here you can see the female who is taking the alcohol. The baby born will be having the so many symptoms. So many symptoms it is having. Like you can see, not the symptoms. Here the baby will be like not born normally. Fine. Let us see the difference. Let us see the symptoms. So that we will call it as the baby born to be the woman who is taking the alcohol. We will call it as the fetal alcohol syndrome. So what will happen here? A low nasal bridge. So here you can see the bridge. It will be like this, right? The bridge. The baby bridge will be the nasal bridge. The nasal bridge will be thin, broad. It will be very, very less. And coming to the ear will be minor and the epicanthal fold. So here what will happen? The eyelids will be there here, right? It will fold in the fold. It will come like the folding. So that we will call it as the epicanthal fold and the malfebral fissure and the matmedictens. So here it is not the correct. And coming to the short nose, the baby is having the short nose and the micrognathia. So micrognathia will lead to the lower jaw. Here the jaw size is going to be reduced in the child who born to the female who is taking the more alcohol. The jaw will be very, very less. And the loss of sexual drive and the necrospermia. The baby who born to them, the female who is taking the alcohol, that baby, if the boy is born, means that boy is having the low sperm count, the low sperm count. Okay, that we will call it as the necrospermia. Okay, living sperm in the semen. And misuse of the drug by the athletes. We all know that the athletes will be misuse the drugs. So you can see the cannabinoids. Cannabinoids is going to be a drug that is misused by the athletes. Not only that, like some of the steroids is going to be misused, and the diuretics, certain hormones. That hormones, if they know that the hormones is going to be increase the muscle means, they are going to be use those hormones. So because of that also it will create some of the different symptoms and so many changes in the body. Those things we are going to study in the next slide. Fine. So let us talk about what are the warning signs of the drug alcohol abuse in the adolescent. If someone is taking the drugs, if someone is taking the alcohol, and if someone is in this age, so how to recognize them? So here you can see they will show some of the symptoms. For example, our friends are in, if you are seeing some people are in this symptom, just recognize them. Okay. So what are the symptoms, guys? So what are the warning signs? You can see who is in the abused by this alcohol and the drugs. So drop in the academic performance and the absence from the school. Person who is the student who is getting the 95% and 85%, like more than 95%, suddenly he's dropped in the academic performance. Like he's scoring like 58% and the 60%, and some people is not passing also. So what is happening to him? Maybe he is in the age so where he is addicted to some of the drug, alcohol, or different things that will lead to the decrease in the academic performance and lack of interest in the personal hygiene. Here in the first picture, you can see that he is educated also, and we know that, right? After the 10th, we all know that we are educated. So then also, we are not having the personal hygiene, cleanliness we are not having. So that person who is having this time, so they will not have the cleanliness and the personal hygiene. And the withdrawal and the isolation. Is not mingle with anyone. He will be like always want to be alone and isolate himself from the everyone. He feels like happiness in the isolation only. Okay. And depression, fatigue, and aggressiveness and rebellious behavior. He will show the depression, and if you can see that in the near the bar, you can see that if two drunken person is fighting, right? Yes. So you can see that where is the most of the fighting will be done, right? So that is the aggressiveness and the rebellious behavior in the home also. They will be like for the single things also, they will be like fighting behavior. So that we can see. And change in the sleeping and the eating behavior. So there will be a sleep cycle and the eating cycle will be, eating behavior will be changed in this person. And fluctuation in the weight and the appetite. The weight is going to be fluctuate because they are not eating properly, and the sleep, they are not sleeping proper. properly. And appetite, there is no feeling of hungry. So that is also the symptoms of the warning sign. Then loss of the interest in the hobby. Before abusing this, before addicted to this drugs and alcohol, he was very good in painting. He was a very good in singing. This all the things. But later that when he addicted to this drugs and alcohol, he has lost the interest in everything. Now with all the interest will be in the drugs and alcohol only. If anyone is showing these type of the symptoms, you have to recognize them. Okay. And deteriorating relationship between the family and friend. Before this addiction, they'll be very good in the family. Then after that, this addiction, so where the relationship is going to be decreases with the family and also the friends. These all are the warning signs, guys. Why this chapter is given to you means you all are in this adolescent age. You can see that some of the children are in this pressure or in this symptom. You have to recognize them. And what we have to do next? Yeah. And let us go to the steroidal effect. We have told now only that if anyone is going to the gym and building the muscle means it will take a time, right? Suddenly taking a steroidal hormone, suddenly they will gain a muscle, right? And taking a steroidal hormone is not good. Okay, fine. So let us talk, guys. What are the side effects of taking the steroidal or the anabolic drugs? Obviously, you know that the hormones, the sex hormones which is related, those all are the steroidal hormones. Obviously, it is going to be affect the sexual behavior and it is going to be affect on the reproductive organs, right? Okay, so let us see one by one what are the side effects of the anabolic drugs. Okay, fine. So first one is acne. If the person is taking the anabolic drugs, means he can show the acne and the pimples on the face because the hormone is going to be increases and increased aggressiveness. We all know that the testosterone hormone in the male, if the male, the person is going to be take a hormone, steroidal hormone means it will lead to the increase in the testosterone. It will lead to the increase in the aggressiveness in the male and mood swings and the depression and reduced testicles. The testicles is going to be reduced and decreased sperm production. So in the normal production, the normal production of the sperm is not going to be happen in that person, and kidney and the liver dysfunctions and the mortality of the sperm is going to be die. And enlarged prostate gland. In the male, you can see the prostate gland. So here it will lead to the enlargement in the prostate gland. So here you can see enlargement in the prostate gland. Yes, here you can see this is a normal and here you can see it is enlarged. Okay, this is the enlarged prostate gland. So remember guys, what are the side effects of the steroidal hormones? Okay, fine. If you understood means let us go to the next. Can we go to the next? Okay. Let us go to the next. Okay. So what are the effect in the female? The female, if she is taking the steroidal hormone, what are the symptoms she can show? In the female, a breast enlargement. The breast enlargement is going to be happen and a premature baldness. So here you can see within the age only where the premature fall of the hair is going to be happen and musculation. Here you can see the musculation in the body of the female. In the first picture, you can see. And the increased aggressiveness in the female. In the female also, there is an increased aggressiveness. And mood swing and the depression common and excessive hair on the face and the body. Here you can see which is the hormone is going to be result in the increased hair on the female body, guys. Can anyone tell me in the chat box? Which hormone is going to be result in the increased hair? That is excessive hair on the face and the body of the female. Can anyone tell me in the chat box? Yeah, you have studied about the adrenal gland, right? In the adrenal gland, there is a cortex and the medulla region is there, right? In the cortex region, there are some cells that is going to be produce the testosterone, right? Because of this testosterone, there is a result in the formation of the hair on the female body. Okay, so here you can see that So because of this steroidal hormone is increases, this will leads to the increases in the hair also. The increased in the testosterone amount in the female also, and increased in the hair production in the female also. Okay, that is a facial hair. Then abnormal menstrual cycle. We all know that all the menstrual cycle hormones are the steroidal hormone. It will lead to the abnormal menstrual cycle because the imbalance of the hormones, and deepening of the voice and enlargement of the clitoris. Here you can see the clitoris in the female, it is going to be enlarged. And here you can see, guys, the enlargement of the skinny gland. Skinny gland, we can tell that is the homologous to the prostate gland in the male. Okay, that skinny gland in the female, the skinny gland is going to be enlarged. These all are the symptoms in the female who is taking the steroidal externally more. Okay. Fine. Let us go to the prevention and the control. How can we prevent this and how can we control this? If any person is addicted to this alcohol and the drug, how can we prevent this? The first one is avoid the undue peer pressure. First, we have to avoid the pressure. So in the family, we can see that the parents will give a pressure that. So like see the neighbor son is getting the 95 mark. Why you are not getting the 95 mark? And he is doing the engineering medical. Why you are not doing? You are not reading. He is getting the very good marks. Like that. We should not compare the children with the another children, and we should not give the a peer pressure. Means a same age, like the children are in the same age, right? Is the 12th and the neighbor's son is also in the 12th standard only, like the same age. We should not compare those two children. Okay, we should not give a peer pressure. Okay, that is the one thing by avoiding the peer pressure. And education and the counseling. Why the chapter is given to you guys? So to the education, you have to know about this all the changes. What are the things is going to be happen in this stage and in this age? How to overcome from this all the things, right? So we have to give a education for the children who are in this adolescent age. And if they are undergoing any type of the stress and the peer pressure on something, you have to give a counseling for them by the good psychiatrist. Okay, and help from the parents and the peers. If you see any of your friend or any of the person is addicted to this drugs and alcohol, means we have to take a help from the parents, and we have to take a help from the friends, and we have to cure him and we have to talk with him. Okay, that is the thing. And seeking the professional and the medical help. If it is worsened, the case was worsened, on that time obviously we have to go to the medical help, and we have to make him to talk with the psychiatrist. And the de-addiction and the rehabilitation center. And if this was a worsen, in a worsen case, is not at all going to be leave. It is not at all going to be decreased. On that case, we have to admit them to the rehabilitation center. You all know that. What is the rehabilitation center, right? So if the person is drinking more, is not going to be come out from that, means they will send him to the rehabilitation center where he will get the gap. So on that time he will reduce the reduce the alcohol and everything will be stopped, thereby overcoming from this drugs and alcohol. Okay, and the de-addiction and the rehabilitation programs. So these all the things will prevention and the control. Do you understood these things, guys? Do you understood these all the things? Fine. Let us go to the question, guys. So we have completed this chapter. Let us go to the next. So here is some of the questions we are going to solve. Okay. The question is, a doctor identifies symptoms of a nasal condition, headache, sore throat, and hoarseness and cough in a patient is infected by a pathogen. Option A, adenovirus. Option B, rhinovirus. Option C, plasmodium. And option D, salmonella. Can you tell, guys, which is the correct answer? You can answer me in the chat box. Fine. Okay. So the correct answer is option B, rhinovirus. Option B is the correct answer. So you can see here, our nasal condition is happening whenever we are in the cold. We can see the nasal condition. We can't able to breathe, right? Like that it will happen, right? Nasal congestion and the headache. Obviously, whenever we are cold, we will get the headache and sore throat, and the horn, like the voice will become like horn. That we call the hoarseness and cough. These all are the symptoms of the rhinovirus, and not the adenovirus, and not the plasmodium, and not the salmonella, not the symptoms of the typhoid also. Fine. Let us go to the next question, guys. Which one of the following is not correct with the respect to the malaria? You all studied over the malaria, right? So here is the option for you. As option A, sporocytes multiply in the blood. Option B, malignant malaria is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. Option C, RBC rupture and release hemozoin which cause the chill. Option D, female Anopheles mosquito is a vector. Which one is the correct answer, guys? You can pause the video and you can answer to this question. Answer me, guys. You have a 1 minute of the time. Fine. So here you can see, guys. So the sporophyte is the infective stage of the malarial parasite, right? When you bitten by the a mosquito, a female Anopheles mosquito, that is going to be transfer that malaria parasite, that is in the sporophyte stage, right? When the sporophyte stage was released in the blood, later it will go to the liver, right? It will go to the liver and there it is going to be multiplied. It is not going to be multiplied at the starting stage. In the sporozoid stage, it is not going to be multiplied. In the blood, it is going to be multiplied in the merozoid stage, right? In the merozoid stage, it is going to be multiplied, not in the sporozoid stage. So that is the reason option A is the wrong. Okay. So that's why you're asking that not correct statement, right? Option A is the correct answer for this. Let us go to the other option also. Malignant malaria is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. Yes, malignant malaria is going to be caused by the Plasmodium falciparum. That is correct. RBC rupture and release the hemozoin, which causes the chill. Yes. So where in the RBC, where it is going to be break the hemoglobin. It is going to be break the hemoglobin, where it is taking the globulin part, and heme part is going to be released in the RBC only, where this heme part is going to be converted into the hemozoin, and then it is going to be released in the blood. There it is going to be released the hypothalamus, and it is going to be cause the chill. Okay, that is also the correct statement. Then coming to the option D, female Anopheles mosquito is a vector. Yes, the female Anopheles mosquito requires the blood. So because whenever it is breeding, it requires the blood. So that's the reason it will feed on the humans or feed on the blood. Otherwise, they will feed on the plants, right? Okay. So the correct option for this guy, option A. Okay. The other things are wrong options. Means those statements are correct. Okay, let us go to the next question, guys. Identify the correct pair representing the positive agent, typhoid fever, and the confirmatory test for the typhoid. You know that typhoid. Now you have to tell me the typhoid is caused by and what is the test we'll be doing for the typhoid. In the option A, they are telling that by the Plasmodium vivax and UTI test. And option B, Streptococcus pneumoniae viral test. Option C, Salmonella typhi and anthrax test. And option D, Salmonella typhi and the viral test. You all know that the correct answer is option D. Salmonella typhi, it is a bacterial disease, right? It is caused by the bacteria Salmonella typhi, and the viral test is the test which is done for the confirmation for the typhoid. Option D is the correct answer. Okay, fine. So let us go to the next question, guys. Yeah, the infection of the Ascaris usually occurs by option A, eating the imperfect cooked pork, and option B, Tsay fly, option C, mosquito bite, and option D, drinking water that is containing egg of the Ascaris. Which is the correct answer, guys? You can give me your answer in the chat box. Fine. So let us go to the answer, guys. You all know that the Ascaris lumbricoides is going to be caused by the way the food and the soil, if the food and the water is contaminated with the eggs of ascaris, means it is going to be transmitted. It is going to be transmitted by the contaminated food and the water, right? So that is the reason option D is the correct answer. Okay, fine. So eating the imperfectly cooked pork, no, it is not going to be caused by the imperfectly cooked pork. Then coming to the T-safe fly, they are asking about the infection. Infection is going to be occur by. This is not the correct answer. T-safe fly, no. Then coming to the mosquito bite, that is also not the correct answer. T-safe fly is the transmitter of the one is a protozoan disease, that we will call it as the African sleeping sickness. Okay, fine. Let us go to the next question. A common cold differ from the pneumonia. In that, how the common cold is going to be differ from the pneumonia? In the option A, they are telling pneumonia is a communicable disease, where a common cold is a nutritional deficiency disease. Coming to the B, pneumonia can be prevented by a live attenuated bacterial vaccine, whereas a common cold has no effective vaccine. Then coming to the option C, pneumonia is causative by a virus, while common cold is caused by the bacterium Haemophilus influenza. Then coming to the option D, pneumonia pathogen infect alveoli, whereas the common cold affects the nose and the respiratory passage, but not the lungs. The correct answer is, which is the correct answer, guys? The correct answer is option D, right? Option D. Let us answer to this question, guys. We all know that pneumonia, when you see the coronavirus also, if the person is affected by the coronavirus, he got the pneumonia, right? So where it is going to be affect the lungs mainly, right? The accumulation of the fluid in the lungs. But what will happen in the, you know that pneumonia is a bacterial disease and the common cold is a viral disease. Pneumonia and you can see that the viral common cold is going to be caused by the rhinovirus, right? So here you can see that pneumonia pathogen affect the alveoli of the lung, whereas the common cold affect only the nose, respiratory passage, but not the lungs. So this is the correct answer. Why not the option A, guys? Pneumonia is communicable disease, whereas common cold is a nutritional deficiency. Not at all. So common cold is a communicable disease, right? It is not a nutritional deficiency. If in the class one person having the cold means, obviously it will transmit it to the other persons also, right? So it is a communicable disease, not the nutritional deficiency. Then coming to the B, pneumonia can be prevented by a live attenuated bacterial vaccine, whereas the common cold has the no effective vaccine. No, this is also not going to be controlled by the vaccine pneumonia. Okay, that is also not the correct answer. Then coming to the option C, pneumonia is caused by the virus, while common cold is caused by the bacterium Haemophilus influenza. No, pneumonia is caused by the bacteria, right? Salmonella typhus, sorry. Pneumonia is caused by the bacteria, right? Pneumonia. Then coming to the common cold is going to be caused by the virus, right? Not the bacteria. And Haemophilus influenza is also the virus only. Okay. So that is the reason, guys. Option D is the correct answer. Okay. Fine. So that's it for the today's, guys. If you're having any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. I will be there in the class only for 2 minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Otherwise, you can leave the class. Fine. So fine, guys. Let's meet in the next class. Yeah, pneumonia is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae, right? This pen is not working. Fine. This pen is not working. Fine. Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay. Fine. So let us meet in the tomorrow's class, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Organisms and the animals, and especially we were discussing about the human movement and the locomotion. and we got to know the difference between locomotion and movement. All these things we have studied, and what else we have studied in the previous class? And that is about the muscles and the muscle contraction, right? So hope all these things are clear for all of you. So let me start the class with the question. Okay, the question goes like this. During a resting stage, the binding site of actin for myosin remains masked by, which means there is no muscle contraction at that time, which means a resting